family, one people, one planet, one love, one family, one people, one planet, one love, one family.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Christie Hardwick. Welcome to SoulCall Global. From wherever you are, right where we are, you are with us in spirit, and we send you all our best. And it's coming from us as a vibration every day of the week. But today, we're going to spend some time in our theme of onward. And please let us know in the chat where you're streaming in from. So we'd love to just continue to send that energy out to you and know the ripple effect of SoulCall is happening. So this morning, as we tend to do, because we're not rigid, we do have somewhat of a structure, but we're always flexible about what Spirit is calling for. And we do always have a Qigong opportunity for you, because we know that the mind, body, and spirit connected is part of how we vibrate love in the world. So we provide that for you on every Sunday with different master teachers. And so we begin our morning together, or afternoon, evening, wherever you are and whenever you're tuning in, with connecting that body and the spirit to the words that we're going to share this morning. So I see that Joy is under the bed covers in California this morning. It is a little earlier there. So it's 7 a.m. Welcome, Joy. So this morning, I believe we have a Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz with us, or is it Helen Yee? Because we are rich with two amazing master teachers. And I believe this morning is, you did say Helen Yee, right? Natalia, I'm sorry. She told me right before we came on, and it just went right out there. So you're going to have a wonderful master teacher give you some Qigong this morning. Welcome.
It's a very unique name, and it's called Repulsive Monkey, or Repulse Monkey. So from here, the name is referring to our monkey mind. Like there's a lot of chatter in our brain, and it's hard to kind of focus. So this one is collecting your energy, collecting your awareness, and just allowing your arms to come up and pushing the energy forward as you pull the other hand back, and just alternating that movement, pushing the chi. Having your knees slightly bent helps. And pushing, alternating the hands, drawing the other hand back. Don't forget to breathe in and out. Feeling that movement. Collecting your mind's awareness to this point. Centering it here in the present moment. Be the last in coming down. Good. And now I will be closing with the gathering chi from the bubbling well. So from here, shoulder width apart, your feet. Take a deep breath in, bringing the arms up above the head, connecting your Lao Gong with your mind or third eye, and also with the byway, the crown chakra, and allow the chi to come into the byway, and your hands are guiding the chi down into the central main meridian channel of the body, filling the chi into the body, guiding it into all the different pathways, meridian channels, and vessels, into the organs, into all the trillions of cells you have, and into the deep parts of your bone marrow. Coming in, pushing out any stagnation and blockages, which can cause disease and illness. Pushing it all the way down into the earth, feeling your body filling up with wonderful chi energy. Let's do it one more time. Bringing your arms up, inhaling, focusing on the Lao Gong and the mind, visualizing the chi, whether it's it's a white light or green light coming in, bathing all your chi, all your cells, coming into the meridian main channel, and filling up into all the areas of your body, coming into your blood and lymph, your muscles, synovial fluids, filling up into the organs, tissues, ligaments, and joints, pushing out any stagnation. There. And one more movement, bringing your hands into the front of the body, gathering all the chi, and just pulling it into the lower dantian, which is in the couple inches down from your navel. It's the battery center. Go ahead and visualize all that chi particles getting more concentrated into a chi ball, pushing it in, storing the chi, and feeling the fullness of the chi. As you bring your hands down and just giving appreciation to your practice. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Sifu Helen Yi. We appreciate you and appreciate the gift that you bring to remind us of that energy flowing throughout our bodies. And today, there are some very energetic people with SoulCall Global who are on the ground in Columbus, Ohio, and they're doing wonderful work to be good neighbors. And we have someone visiting with us this morning to just really broadcast live from the scene where they are helping others this morning. So tune in. Hey there.
Okay. Because last time this is the rotation we did. So
I'm watching right at the moment, giving directions. There she is. Hey, Michelle. What's happening over there?
Oh, hey, how are you? Wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can you let me see? Let me get rid of the chat. Let me show you here. Can you see this? Because unfortunately, I'm unaware of what you can see and what you can't.
I can see trees. I can see your wonderful face.
Okay. Well, how do I turn? Oh, here I go. Let me do this.
Put the camera around.
Turn it around. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this.
There we go. Perfect.
So we've already got some people coming through. We've already had two, and these fine people came through today. We've got a bus unloading. No, we don't. I'm just kidding. But we're here at Maze Road. Beautiful day. Come on out.
It is.
And let me do this. We've got set up over here where we've got our squad. Our tables are set up. We've got another visitor here picking some from our miscellaneous tables. We've got gluten-free. We've got vegan. Pet food. We've got all kinds of pet food down here. And
awesome.
Wait, there's even more coming. This is just the start. We've got carloads that are still coming with more bags. So we're good to go. Come in off of Maze Road, which is right off of Morse Road. Just take a look at we've got balloons and entrance over there. A friend that's waving them in over this way. It's easy circle drive. Come in, pick up, be blessed, and have a wonderful day.
Wonderful. Thanks so much.
And Lisa will be speaking at about 11. So if you're local, come on over and be prepared to be amazed and wowed by our own Lisa Ferrero. So
that's wonderful.
That too. Happening, Miss Reverend Christie. It's all happening.
Yay! Thanks for letting us peek in
you're
to the work on the ground. That was awesome. There's we have so many wonderful volunteers with SoulCall, and Michelle is one of those that is so enthusiastic. And as you can see, preparing the way for us to give gifts to our neighbors. There's food insecurity everywhere on this planet, and in Columbus, Ohio also. So we are serving people as much as we can, when we can, in all the ways that we can. And that's because of all your support. So thank you for that. This morning, as we completed the Qigong and thought about the energy in our body, the energy centers, this idea of centering, and thinking about all that needs to be done in the world, sometimes it can feel like there's so much moving in the world. How do I actually find my own center? And there's a way of thinking of that as your home center. And there's a beautiful song that will be coming up. And as we listen to this, I want you to think about it as a meditation. So just put your feet on the ground and your hands in your lap and breathe in to the words of this song that will remind you that whenever you need to, you come home within, you come home to self, you come home, and it's always ever present for you to be centered and grounded in the home within yourself. So breathe in and breathe out. And right now, tap into that place in you, knowing that it's always and ever available, whatever is happening in the world. And even in your doingness, you're grounded in home, coming home.
When I am open, gentle and slow, a dozen of diamonds, no, it was cold. I came from somewhere, and I will go, trusting that spirit makes me whole. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. Spiraling upward beyond spirit and skin, courageous and formless, where we begin. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. Place that you know you're never alone. When I am open, gentle and slow, doesn't a diamond know it was gold? I came from somewhere and I will go, trusting that spirit makes me whole. Gentle and slow. Come back, 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 come back. I came from somewhere. Come back, come back, come back. I will go. Come back, come back, come back, come back. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. Come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. Come back, come back, come back. Come back, come back, come back. Come back, come back, come back.
Beautiful. So beautiful. What an abundance of riches we have here at SoulCall Global with the music of Natalia Zuckerman and Lisa Ferraro. It's something that is such a gift that comes in through those two people in a way that gives us the overflow of the love and the vibration and the harmony that they bring. So thank you for that song. And I love that in the song we're talking about you can always come back home in that place in you. And there was actually the word spiraling upward, which are the theme of my words today about spiraling up. Our theme for the month is onward, moving onward, continuing on our path. And sometimes in the parentheses of onward is onward in spite of, right? Spiraling up in spite of, because we do know that many things are happening in an earthly way. Many things are happening in our human experience. Even if we are spiritual beings, we are living as human beings. And so we see so much around us in the world. And we need to remember that we can continue to spiral up, even if sometimes it feels like you're passing the same thing over and over again. Ever feel like that? Yeah. We're seeing the same things. The beauty is, as we continue to spiral up by the use of our thoughts, by the use of high vibrations like this beautiful music and SoulCall Global and other spiritual tools that you use, as you spiral up, even if you're seeing some of the things, you're seeing them differently. You begin to see from a higher place because you're spiraling upward. This last week, my wife and I spent time with an organization called the Conference on World Affairs. And it actually is held here in St. Petersburg, Florida, where we live. So we were very fortunate. I attended online, and she would go in person often to hear the speakers. The speakers were from all over the world, literally. Some of them were local, but many people were from other countries, and most of the continents of the world were covered at this conference. And what they spoke about were some main issues. They spoke about the idea of climate change. They spoke about the idea of corruption. They spoke about the idea of race equity and equality and gender equity and equality. And they spoke about all these ideas in a way that at first you might think, I'm spiraling downward. Let me look at the state of the world in terms of climate change. Right? Let me look at how many things are happening that have an effect on human beings, but even greater than that, having an effect on the entire planet and everything in it, right? And they talked about this idea of corruption and how it's pervasive, again, all over the world, every continent, country, place that they mentioned had some form of corruption, some form of a few working on behalf of a few and affecting the many. And then they talked about equity and equality and the struggle for understanding the difference between those two things, where when it comes to equality, you might say that people are now equal in our minds, but is there equity in terms of access and equity in terms of the possibility of outcomes, whether it's about healthcare or access to services or treatment within our justice system, for example? Equity and equality are different things. So as I listened to these speakers, this idea of spiraling upward came to me, because throughout their talks, they gave scientific data where scientific data was relevant. They gave political science research where that was appropriate. They gave statistics, whether they were anthropologists or sociologists, and they gave you all kinds of data about what they'd studied in terms of patterns in our human behavior and patterns on our planet. And the beauty of it was, even when they were sharing the hard, cold facts, which were sometimes hard and cold, about climate change, about corruption, about inequities, they would also have this idea of possibility. So even these speakers who were experts in what was going wrong spiraled upwards when they spoke to us, because they ultimately talked about the possibility. Not one speaker that I listened to left us in this place of spiraling downward, which was the trajectory of some of the scientific data. They gave us this idea that we can continue to raise our idea, raise our vision, see from a higher place what's possible in every one of these areas. And even those who were the most mired in scientific data would say words like, don't give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm optimistic, even though I've shared all these things with you. What is that optimism? It's this idea of possibility, moving onward from a place of knowing what is happening and the things that are going on in the world, but having the possibility in mind that they can change. And we can apply this to our own lives. There are many things happening around us. We might have in our own life, in our own constellation, We have people who are not well right now, people who are struggling with illness or disease. We might have people in our family who are struggling financially. We might have people in our life that are struggling in relationship. There could be all kinds of things happening around us and even in our own lives. And yet we have this opportunity to be present with it and yet know that we are spiraling upward. Because as we connect with that within us that doesn't have any of these sorrows, that doesn't have any of these wounds and hurts, it allows us a place to rest. We come back home, as the song says. We come back home, we rest, and we know that that place in us and that power that moves through us is constantly available to us to spiral upward. There was a speaker also that I heard, because we love to listen to things about food and food science to understand how to really nurture our bodies. And there's this beautiful woman who reminded us that we're electromagnetic beings. And she said, the sun is magnetic, the sun is electric, and the earth is magnetic, and we are the conduit. So these physical bodies take in the electricity of the sun and ground ourselves in the magnetism of the earth as electromagnetic beings. We're part of this universal substance in a physical way and also in a spiritual way. So since we are conduits, we're also conduits for those things that you cannot see. We can't really see electricity. We can see the effects of it. We can't really see magnetism. We can see the effects of it. We can't actually see love, but we can see the effects of it. So we know that we're conduits for these things. We're conduits for that chi energy. We're conduits for love energy. We're conduits for harmony. So as we dwell in that idea that we are conduits and know that the thing itself, love, harmony, universal source and substance, is not disturbed by any of the outward events, is always operating in perfection in itself, then we know that we are spiraling upward. As long as we stay in connection with that idea and connection with that part of ourselves. Even if we notice that we feel like we're slipping and we're slipping downward, sometimes because we're getting stuck in the past, sometimes because we are focused on those things that have happened and we're dwelling in them, we can always choose to return home to that internal place to know that there is an aspect of life, the creative force that is ever giving and unlimited, and again, is not affected by any of the outside noise. Tap into that, we have that opportunity to spiral upward and going onward. Remind ourselves of this. Whatever's happening in your life right now, whatever you're dealing with, whoever you're dealing with, whatever's happening in your constellation of people, your constellation of animals, know that there is a love that's greater than anything that's happening, and anything can be transformed with this power of love that's within each of us. So we're not hard on ourselves. We're not down on ourselves if we sometimes spiral in a way that doesn't feel like it's upward, but we remind ourselves of the possibility of what can happen in us and around us and through us when we do spiral upward. One of the things that we can do when we find ourselves not clear and not sure that we're in our highest place and that we're rising above the circumstances is to move, is to dance, is to have a new thought, or to sing. So I invite you to spiral upward on your journey, constantly reminding yourself that the power that's greater than all of us is ever available. And if you find yourself stuck and not sure, sing.
If you get worried, what you ought to do is sing. If you get worried, what you ought to do is sing. If you get worried, what you ought to do is sing. Sing about your troubles, it just might pass. If you get lost, What you ought to do is sing. If you get lost, what you ought to do is sing. If you get lost, what you ought to do is sing. Sing about your troubles, it just might pass. Sing about your troubles, it just might pass. Sing about joy. Sing about love, hope and light. Sing about your trouble, just might pass, just might pass. If you get broken, what you ought to do is sing. If you get broken, what you ought to do is sing. If you get broken, what you ought to do is sing. Sing about your troubles, it just might pass. Sing about your troubles, it just might pass. Sing about joy. Sing about love, hope and light. Sing about your trouble, just might pass. Just might pass. Just might pass. Just might pass.
Beautiful, delightful, delightful. We have one more report on the ground with our food drive, and there's so much more going on at SoulCall. Please check us out on our website and find out what more you can get involved in. Hey,
we got
Lisa,
everybody out there.
Yay.
Hey, hi. So here we are in the drive-through at Unity. Well, I'll be speaking at 11 o'clock. Good morning, Christie. Good morning, Natalia,
Good morning.
behind the scenes. We've got a posse of, I'll show you some of the food bags. We're handing out delicious food on a bright sunny day. I'm going to go join Michelle. I'm going to cut through the crispy leaves. Try not to fall on the ice. Can
Yes,
you see me?
please be
Can you see me now?
We can see you.
I'm getting into the sun.
Yes.
Watch.
And the Soul Squad here in Columbus invite you to start up something.
Hey, this is like live on the
now.
scene.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sunny day. If you know of anyone who is in the Columbus area in need of food, we are here until 2 o'clock today.
We've got pet food, we've got baby food, we've got gluten-free, vegan,
your phone is
regular. Oh, am I what here?
Yeah.
Well, my mic is off, I think. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sharing it with her.
Here we are, live on the scene.
It's a beautiful day. Come on out. You still have time to listen to her. What time is it?
It's just
you got 30 minutes. If you're local, come on out and listen to her talk.
That's right.
Today's talk
is play with us.
Today's talk is Get It, Got It Good.
Wonderful.
Going back to elementary school for that one.
Got it.
A lot of richness here.
A lot of richness here, yeah. So there's the back. There's everyone in the background. Say hi, everyone. Yeah. So
if you like what you see, think about doing that in your own town or community. Just be a Soul Squad. You put it together and help people.
This is our fourth one, and each one gets more and more joyful, I have to say. It's like we're fulfilling needs in our communities. We're going to be taking some to 2 other communities in this area. One about an hour and a half south of here. I don't know what that translates into miles wise, but and then 2 other communities too. And so we're really grateful for everybody who contributes. Just seeing your dollars in action this morning, and our hearts are filled with gratitude for what we get to do on this end of it. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks. You too. Soul
Bye-bye,
Squad on the move. And again, a Soul Squad is something that is a wonderful idea. And I know Natalia has a little Soul Squad out in the New York area. And, we welcome everyone thinking about ways that you can contribute to your community, and let us know how we can help you. And as Lisa said, the donations help with that kind of work, the groundwork, but also us staying online and being able to have the content to bring it to you and the classes to bring to you. And there's many classes to choose from on the website at SoulCall Global. So check that out. and keep being on our newsletter. And if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, please sign up for our newsletter, because it gives you all the juicy information about what's coming. And it's also very inspiring and lifting for you to have that come into your inbox regularly. So subscribe to our newsletter. And if you already do, please share it with someone else, and share us in general. Share us on social media, share us with your friends, invite folks to consider checking out meditation on Mondays, checking out the Wisdom Wednesdays, and then Sundays with SoulCall. We have a lot here for you, and we want you to know that wherever you are and whatever spiral you're in, you are loved.
One family, one people, one planet, one love.